Remind me to tell you one off the air. Yes, hello, folks. Scott and I are talking about daisies and decorating our room, and we're trying to decide what decor we should have.
Yeah.
Should be modern or colonial.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But now we're going to talk about dogs. Right.
As I was thinking about dogs.
Yeah,
we put dogs in there too.
Yeah, we're definitely changing the subject from what we were talking about since we're on public. But anyway, we got some announcements for you after this initial. We've got some interesting developments possibly in the dog world. There's a gentleman, his name's Mark Fresco, I believe, and he's out of California. And he had he says a rant, a YouTube rant, about the people that call themselves decoys in the modern day protection sports.
Protection sports.
Sports, yes. And it's something that I've noticed for a lot of years. But you ever hear about that old saying, everything new is old again? Well, I'll let Scott elaborate a little bit more on what this gentleman, and this guy's, and I know from listening to him talk, he made references to certain training methods and styles that I guarantee you, this guy's the real deal. He's worked real, what I would consider a real street dog. He could train a guard dog, because he mentioned training techniques that I haven't heard anyone even think about in 30 years. So he's the real deal. Scott, what did he have to say about today's protection sports?
Sport trainers, basically decoys. It's more about them. Ego trip and social media has turned everybody into a high flashy decoy catching dogs, but people fail to remember that it's all about dogs, right? So and it's all about putting pressure on dogs, and it's all about catching them and shaking stuff in their face and all. There's a time and place for all that, but to me, it's negative energy to a dog. First of all, pressure on a dog. I hear everybody talking about pressure on dogs. You gotta put more pressure, put less pressure. Okay, right? But everybody went to school, right? Everybody can read, right? But not everybody can read a dog. You need to learn how to read a dog and where it's at. And like the gentleman said, we say it here, we do it here. The dog needs to win. Every time he doesn't work, build confidence. And some of the stuff these guys are doing, and he got pretty elaborate, but it's a state of affair where it's to a point where it's just about the decoy now. It's not about the dogs.
No.
But then again, he said some people fight and argue about the certain things they do, and you can rationalize it all they want, but at the end of the day, the ball failed that dog. And if you sit back and watch these guys work, and you can look at them dogs, if you can read a dog, you can see the dog is in regression, or is scared, or is biting out of fear, but he's not a finished dog.
Right.
It's negative for the dog. The dog is not winning.
Exactly.
So I got more out of it than that, but that's pretty much the basis of what he's saying, And egos aside, I don't care if anybody ever sees me decoy a dog. I just hope they see that dog does the right thing for that person. He owns him, and he does what he's supposed to do, and succeeds.
Right.
It ain't about me. It never was, never will be. I don't care. It's about that dog.
Right. And there's a song, everything old is new again. So that kind of happens. Things go in cycles. When pro sports was started, it was because people in the States here in America had this notion that Schutzhund and French ring, which were the only two bite sports going at the time, were sport, and they wanted something more street oriented. So I was asked to come up with this deal, and we worked it with the cooperation of USPCA trainers and French ring trainers, and into a street thing. I took what I had learned from guard dogs and we applied it to our scenarios. and it ran great for, 10, 15 years. Well, went all over the world. I've been fortunate enough to travel to 3 of the 5 continents, just doing pro sports for other people. But what happens is then some people say, well, I can do this fancier, I can do this prettier or whatever. And they start up and a new cycle starts and it goes till now we're back to the point where apparently, from what this gentleman's saying on his deal, people are starting to look at some of the American invented sports and go, I don't think that's right. So I'm not going to touch on whether it's right or wrong. I'm just going to say it looks like we're coming back to a point where people are going to be saying, hey, I want something to teach my dog to protect me. And that's where pro sports comes back again. And hey, well, you know what? We've been asked to show up in Mississippi and do a trial there next week. We'll talk about that more in a minute. But the problem with most people, even the ones that are good trainers, that are old school trainers that train really tough dogs, they haven't been on the street in the situations where the dog has to not only just apprehend somebody, but fight for his life. When I got into the guard dog business, I dealt with game wardens who had dogs I trained for. I dealt with police departments I had trained dogs for. I had trained dogs for Schutzhund clubs. I had one dog in a French ring trial. I'd done the gamut of bite stuff. And then I got in the guard dog business and I lost several dogs. And I learned that everything I learned in that sport conception had been applied to what was supposed to be a police dog. It didn't work. Mm-hmm. It did not work.
It's a different demographic.
Yeah. Demographic. It's a whole different.
Whole demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to cross over, we always say, can the sport dog do personal protection? Yes.
Yep.
But the way you train that dog can be the way you train in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not the same.
Nope.
And we're not going to get into the details about that, but
nope.
Carry on, sir. I just had to put my 2 cents in there.
Right. That's right. And the training is the fact. Most dogs can do that kind of work. The biggest thing that, and I don't know what Mr. Mark Fresco is thinking about. Like I said, I have no doubt he's definitely, the favorite term today is old school. He mentions in his thing on Facebook, you can find it on my Facebook page if you go look. He mentioned several training techniques that he used when he started that I haven't heard anyone speak of in 30 years. And I know you have to be around to even think about some of the things he mentioned doing to dogs. So he's the real deal. But there's still differences, things that and he may have too, but there's things that I had the opportunity, and it was an opportunity to learn. The biggest thing I want a guard dog to do is to be able to defend himself. He has to be able to, as we say in canine pro sports, intimidate, dominate, and control. So a dog that's up in the air being flung around, what the hell can he do? He just holds on. It's like a roller coaster ride, So you see all the sport boys doing this stuff, and it's like taking your dog to the amusement park, I guess.
Some of them will say that's how you build confidence.
No,
I understand, but just from that point of view, looking in.
Yeah.
Can you stand on somebody one leg and say that? Have a leg to stand on? Yes. But then again, you do that step there, but you're taking 7 steps away to build that dog. Mm-hmm. It's not confidence.
No, and if you want to get an idea, what Black Bart's greatest hits. I got a YouTube video called Black Bart's greatest hits. Go watch a bunch of the American invented sport things and see how they work the dog to make him tougher, flinging him, banging him on the wall. And then go to Black Bart's greatest hits and see how Bart, my Western Shepherd, see how Black Bart treats the decoys and agitators once he gets a hold of them. you'll see a whole different way of doing things.
Yeah, I think Black Bertha wants to swing him in against the wall and flip him around.
Yep,
Huh?
that's it. And in real life, that's what your dog needs to do. Because if I can pick your dog up and bang him into a wall, it's going to be real easy for me to grab his collar, twist it, choke it, kick him in the cods, whatever. Cods, you know.
Yep. Absolutely.
So that's what we all got up in arms about this week.
I'm in arms about it. Just so there's other people out there that can see and are knowledgeable. And there's quite a few people out there that are knowledgeable. You know,
Right.
some people just don't. Like I said, just keep quiet and do our own thing till it comes to a point where they're going to want to ban protection altogether because some of the stuff they're doing.
Yeah. So
And that's what that gentleman said also. And
he did.
He rationalized it. If you watch the video, it's really good. It's a really good watch too. So, and you'll get into it too. So, but anyway, that's you never know the way people are now, and
But I'm going to get off my soapbox because
I'm not.
it's clear. It's clear how I feel about it. But the reason I say everything old is new again because all of a sudden I'm getting people calling and asking me about Canine Pro Sports.
Canine Pro Sports. I've heard of that.
Yeah, well that's how it happened in the first place. There were no American invented sports at the time we started pro sports. Funny how that happens,
Oh, yeah.
We did it for 10 or 15 years, and all of a sudden everybody had their own sport, which is the American way,
American way.
So I saw something I like, so I'm going to copy it and put my name on it,
Yeah.
And that's cool if you keep it, pure to what it should be, but it's sort of, it's deteriorated
Well, it's
into
watered down a bit.
a bit. So
The conception of what that is has been diluted to a
yeah.
circus, basically.
Yeah. And until you've been on the streets and seen your dogs get their heads bashed in, you're not going to appreciate the things that you really do need to teach your dog how to do. So
And it's not. And don't think we're talking about we're going to get out there. My dog's going to, no. You probably never get. The dog will never probably bite anybody ever. But you'll have to know how to deter the perpetrator before he even has to bite. Just by the confidence of the dog, the way a dog moves, and the way a dog is handled. And someone will look at that and say, "Hell no." These guys know what they're doing. I'm not gonna even,
not even going to go there.
don't go to that house.
Right. Right. And that means this weekend, this is sort of a thrown together podcast tonight. We didn't really plan it like we usually do, but we're going to be in Forest, Mississippi, Morton and Forest are right next to each other.
Yep.
And there's a gentleman named Daryl Thornton. Y'all have heard me speak about him.
Yep.
And we're going to be doing our first Mississippi Canine Pro Sports certification trial. It'll be Saturday. Are you raising your hand, Carol Ann, or yawning?
No, after you get done.
After I get done, okay. So we're leaving out. It'll be all day Saturday. He's got an obedience classification. We've got a youth division. He's got a real nice stadium set up for the whole show. I mean, Daryl's done pro sports trials. He's one of our best judges. He's a 25, 30 year on the street canine veteran. He might say he knows dogs as well as a little bit about police work. So I guess he's got it set up. There's going to be an event for everybody. He got prizes for everyone, everything. If you want to find out more about it, no charge. If you want to come watch, it's in a stadium. They got bleachers. You can come sit and watch. If you're going to be in that, if you're just across the border in Tennessee, come on down. Derek Sizemore's coming down from Tennessee. Don't know who else is coming, but come down and join us. Take a look at what the folks there can do and what we do, and see what you think about it. And we might go from there.
Yep.
Start. Yes, ma'am. What'd you have, Carol Ann?
JW from Australia chimed
Oh yeah,
in,
yeah.
and he says there is a move in South Australia to ban bike sports and bike training.
Wow.
See, so it's already begun.
It's already
And
started.
if it's starting over there,
It'll get here.
it's probably already started here too. The Aussies are a little tougher in their what they're thinking too. So,
And, JW, thank you for bringing that up. I know Katrina Marion and a few other folks that I watched their Facebook page. Sharon Blakeney McDonald. We're talking about that a couple of weeks ago. I know how they did you guys on your weapons, and I hope, and please,
Canada is next in.
yeah, Canada will follow your suit.
Yeah, they will.
So, if your dog folks down there will all get together, you know, and that's what Katrina's Facebook page was about. You guys need to do something about it. You need to, and showing responsible trainers. And see, that's what, unfortunately, that's what it's come down to. The way these people are doing these trials with, you know, they got dogs surrounded by decoys screaming and yelling at them. Some of the people that are complaining aren't complaining about the dogs hurting people. They're complaining about the decoys and the people putting on the trial hurting the dogs.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the dogs, right?
Yeah, it's all about the dogs. Why are you beating them down? Why you got 27 people? They got these shakers and bottles of rocks going, bah, 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 you know. So anything, I don't know, anything you can do to bring people back to a standard that's practical, I think will also help. The biggest thing is get everybody to every club. I know from reading Katrina's, or at least the note that was up on Katrina's page, you've got a pig dog association that's willing to work with you. Guys, get together, because it's, them politicians, they're going to sway wherever they think they can get the most votes. And you need to make them think it's you. That's all I can say on the topic. So, you know, but I will, as I said in that post, I'll repeat what Ben Franklin said many years ago about the boys revolting against Britain over here. He said it's undoubtedly we can all, how is it? We must all hang together, or we'll surely all hang separately. You got to get together, boys, because they'll come at you one at a time and take away everything you're doing down there if you don't watch it. And like Scott said, and Scott's from Maine, he's dealt with the Canadians.
It's just gun laws and everything else, and it's a different country. It's not like over here. You know, it's a beautiful place, love it, but their way of thinking politically and the climate's different. It's not.
Yeah.
It's more of a socialist, not social.
Well, almost socialist.
Yeah, it ain't socialist, but it's a social system. Healthcare is paid. You know, it's great.
That's socialist, yeah.
But it's not like over here.
Right. And I know when we started our bans on pit bulls around here in different areas, when Quebec put their ban on pit bulls, that ban meant that if you crossed the border and drove into Quebec with your pet and you were a tourist, they take your pet pit bull out of your car and kill him for you.
Quebec has their own set of, they put by their own rules up in Quebec.
Yeah. So, JW, thank you for bringing that up. I hope a lot of people listen to this. I hope a lot of people get together with everybody else they know and start making a ruckus about your right to live with your best friend. That's the only way I can say it.
He said appreciate all your work.
And thanks, sir. Thanks for helping us. So anyway, we're going to go to Mississippi.
From Mississippi.
And I wonder if we could stop and get some crawfish on the way. No, it's North Louisiana. They ain't got no.
We swing down to Alexandria.
We can swing down to Alexandria. Yeah, we could go down to LA. Yeah, we could.
You go a long way around.
Come back up. I saw a good one the other day. Like on Facebook, it said, "This is a joke, folks. So bear with me." There was a playoff on there's a show called Family Feud where they say, you know, name the 5 things that make a Cajun mad, and you plug in, and number 1 answer was Walmart Boudin.
Walmart Boudin.
And for those of you that ain't in the know on what Boudin and Cajun food is, all I can say is you missing something, yeah.
You're missing something.
What else we got? Anything, or we gonna go pack?
I'm probably gonna go pack. We got to get dogs ready and get ready for a trip, but
And watch Dog Kennel. Daryl spells it in the southern vernacular, D-A-W-G, watch dog. Canine. Get your information. Come on out to the stadium and say hello to us. Introduce yourselves. Watch. I think if you like dogs, you'll see a really good show. So.
Butch is giving autographs for free. 1 to 4.
Yeah, I took writing lessons last week just so I could do it in cursive.
Did you?
Yeah, man.
I would give them to you for free.
Would you?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Derek said hi. He said, hold on, he just got on.
Oh, hey, Derek.
Derek, you're always late as usual. We still love
Day
you.
late, $1 short, Derek. What can I tell you? Hot damn, buddy. But you look at the bright side. You can play it all back from the very beginning and chuckle and laugh.
We can talk about it. We can talk about it Saturday.
Tell your friends, and don't remember, stay to the end because I'm done giving away the map to that buried treasure that's on the south side between Tennessee and Mississippi. So you want to stay to the very end so you can hear how to get to that.
He said, ha, 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 ha.
see you folks next week.
All right, just get your dog. To me, just be a friend to your dog, love your dog, and we'll start talking about. You can see different things with different trainers and everything else, but the signs. You know your dog, how your dog acts. You don't have to tell y'all nothing. And if you see something happen that you don't like, don't let no one tell you any different. You get a dog out of there and you find somebody else. Because it's all about dogs, right? We'll see you next.